People have some crazy assumptions about Houstonians. But what's the craziest, or better yet, stupidest question you've been asked? Today, I'm playing back an episode where the CityCast team, host Raheel Ramzanali, executive producer Dina Kesbeh, newsletter editor Brooke Lewis, and I answer some of the wildest things we've been asked. It's Thursday, January 25th, 2024. I'm producer Carlignon Jones, in for Raheel Ramzanali, and here's what Houston's talking about today.
Okay, before we get to all of the stupid questions we have about the city, Carly, I want to start with you. What is the stupidest question you've been asked by somebody that doesn't live here about Houston?
I have a friend who's thinking about moving here from California, and he asked me, do all of y'all own like cowboy boots and hats and wear them everywhere? And then he also asked me if he needs to learn how to do yeehaw dances, which I was like, what are we talking about here? A yeehaw dance? But he's talking about line dancing, and I'm just like, no, but we do those a lot. But, you know, I thought that was just a Southern thing just in general, but apparently it's a yeehaw dance, y'all.
I think that's the number one question, right, ladies? Is do y'all wear cowboy boots and cowboy hats everywhere when you tell somebody you're from Houston, which is for whatever reason, I don't know why that is still a stereotype, but we don't. We don't wear cowboy hats and boots.
No, we don't. Special occasions only.
But you know what? In his defense, right? I feel like, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I was taught like line dancing and square dancing in school as part of like our curriculum. Mm-hmm. So like maybe he does need to learn that.
No, and it is very strange to me that we just all went along with it. Like, I mean, we had no other choice. We were like in elementary school, but it was like a whole thing. And I actually looked forward to it because then at the end we would learn it and we would have this big like square dancing day and your parents would come and you would dress up and I was really into it. Like I was like, I'm going to show off my square dancing skills.
Did your square dancing day, like did it involve having like to dress up like as a cowgirl too? Because we did that. Yes. Like we had like little stick horses and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a whole thing. You learn it. To me, square dancing is like algebra. You will never use it in real life.
Exactly. That's what I think is hilarious. And also I think the yeehaw part, I'm like, when have you ever said yeehaw? Like I've literally never said it. Yeah. It never is a part of my vocabulary, but I think they just think we're walking around with our cowboy boots, our hats, and we're saying yeehaw. Like I'm not saying it.
It's so funny.
I don't get it. Why is that stereotype still out there? Like, is it in popular media now? It's not, right? Like every time you see Houston on a broadcast for an NFL game, for anything, an NBA game, the Super Bowl, they don't show people in cowboy hats and boots anymore. It's like we are a diverse city that has its own style and its own fashion. But for whatever reason, Texas still rings that cowboy mentality.
I think it's like our artists, though. I don't think it's like the football games or anything like that. I think it's like how we have Megan Thee Stallion. She wears hats and boots in a lot of her like things. Yes. And Beyonce does too. True. Like I will say that I went to the Beyonce concert and I had on a cowboy hat and cowboy boots, and he's seen the picture, so I'm pretty sure.
But here's the thing: it's like cowboy chic, like the cowboy thing that they're talking about. It's not like Beyonce is cowboy chic, Megan Thee Stallion. Like I feel like Houston is cowboy chic. I think the cowboy that they're talking about is Dallas, you guys. That's what I think they're talking about when they think in Texas.
It's totally,
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, like Beyonce was wearing a Telfar tracksuit. Nobody points that out as Houston. That's not fair. Come on. Like, I know it's a New York brand, but still, can we get credit for that? Like, that's true. Houston.
Nah, they're just taking the country parts. But like she said, like Brooke said, it's definitely cowboy chic because my boots were sparkly gold. So was the hat. It was a lot. But, you know, like I really don't wear boots unless I'm going to a trail ride, a rodeo, or a concert. Outside of that, I'm not walking around. Boots hurt, first of all. Let's just start there. It's not comfortable.
They're not comfy.
Yeah, they're not comfy.
I bought some in 2018 and they've been sitting in my closet since 2018.
Wait.
I wore them one time. Wore them to the rodeo and I've never worn them again. Because every time I go to the rodeo, I'm like, I'm going to walk a lot. I'm wearing comfortable shoes. Why would I wear boots?
Exactly. They're so not comfortable. I couldn't get behind the price and the discomfort. So I was like, no thanks. I'm good.
Well, Dina, let's stick with you. What's the stupidest question you've been asked about Houston?
If I get around town and to school on a horse. The answer is no.
It's just just laughable.
Although I do see a lot of people next to me riding their horse around town.
No, but they're not dropping their kids off on the horse, though. I've never seen a horse in the school line.
Like behind a school bus? Exactly. Or just like on I-10, on I-45. Like, can you imagine? Like, we're
never there. Yeah, never on like a busy street. Yeah, you don't see it there, but you do on Sundays when you go to certain parts of town, like especially the north side, you do see people riding horses in the park. Like, non-ironically, okay, they're just enjoying riding it.
Yeah.
So there is a little truth to that one.
I've seen it multiple times in A-Leaf, just like on the road next to me on the sidewalk. And I'm like, where is it? Like, where are you even keeping this horse? I don't get it.
I see it a lot. I see it a lot in Richmond, Rosenberg, because there's just more land out here.
Yeah,
especially when you go towards the Rosenberg side, you see it a lot. And especially during Fort Bend County Fair season. So you do see horses. How about you, Brooke?
Yeah, for me, I mean, this is a valid question, but this is how I throw it back to them. So it is, how do you survive the summer? How do you survive how hot it is? And it's always in this like, terrified voice. And I throw it back because I'm like, how do you survive the negative temperatures, the freezing cold weather, the snow that's constant? How do you survive shoveling your car? And it's just like, we survive it just like you survive the winter.
Yeah, we stay inside. We stay inside until we can go outside. That's what we can do. Yeah, you can't even go outside in the winter. They all look so pale during the winter. At least we can go outside in the evening. Come on. So yeah, the heat one is a big question.
Yeah. It's like we have air conditioning and we have Netflix and we're okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's get to questions that we have about the city. All right. We can now ask our stupid questions about the city of Houston. And again, no question is too stupid. And also, we're going to get to the listener questions here shortly. So let's start with you, Carly. What's your stupid question about Houston?
Okay, so, we live in Texas, and I know that we can pretty much just have guns as long as you don't have like a criminal record, right? But what I've always wondered is there a limit to how many guns you can own in your house?
I don't think there is, right? It is a free-for-all.
That's wild.
As many guns as you want.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about.
It is when you put that in perspective, like thinking about a person just having a closet of guns.
Or a warehouse in Texas.
And they're expensive too. It's not like guns are cheap. That's the other thing. Yeah. Like we've seen people make their Christmas cards with their guns out, right? And you're like, man, that's a lot of money right there. Like, do you really need that much? And I guess you're balling if you're spending that much on guns. But yeah, I don't think there's a limit here.
That's interesting.
Yeah, there's no law that restricts the sale or purchase of multiple firearms, y'all.
So you can get them all at one time.
Texas.
Like you can go in there and be like, yeah, give me 12 of them. That's
give me
this is crazy. Okay.
Wholesale. Give me a dozen.
Just pass them over here.
It's like you're ordering food. I like a dozen guns.
I have a question about why do we call it feeders? Because nobody else calls it that. And I was reminded of that when I got to college and I started talking to, students from other cities. And when we're driving with them in Austin, you're like, oh, yeah, you just hop off and get onto the feeder. And they're like, what's the feeder? Everyone just calls it a service road or a frontage road. Why do we call it a feeder?
I don't know. Who even started that? It's weird to think of frontage road being called feeder. And I can't even think like myself saying frontage road sounds like it just sounds incorrect. I feel like it has to be feeder road. I don't know why.
The way it was explained to me, because I had the same experience, Raheel, when I got to college, because I had friends and they were also from Texas. So it's like a very Houston thing to call it feeder. They would call it access, frontage. But my parents always explained it to me that the main highway, when you exit, you're feeding into the road. So you're feeding into it. And so that to me just makes sense. Calling it a frontage road or an access road just sounds weird. Just doesn't sound right.
Yeah. So 1.97% of America calls it a feeder road. That 1.97% of the population is all in the Houston area. Like literally that's where it is. We're the only people that call it feeders. And it's funny when you go outside of the city, like when you get to I-10 going towards San Antonio, you'll see that the frontage roads are different there. They are actually like roads or two-way roads. And it's not just a one-way exit with businesses on the side. They actually turn into frontage roads, not feeders. So even the way they're built out in Houston is different than the way they're built out in the country. So it is a Houston specific thing. I love that.
You're blowing my mind right now because I don't know why I've never paid attention that other people don't call it a feeder road. Like, I'm so used to that word that, like, I'm like, what? Like, only Houston uses this? This is crazy. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
even Dallas doesn't, because as Brooke mentioned, even my friends from Dallas, I'm like, yeah, just hop on the feeder and then we'll be right there. And they're like, what's the feeder? So yeah, it's a very Houston specific thing.
Wow.
Dina, what question do you have that's a stupid question about Houston?
All right, so there's a neighborhood in Galveston, and it's called Jamaica Beach. And I'm just like, how the heck did it get that name? Especially because, like, when you think Galveston, it is far from anything related to Jamaica. Doesn't look like it. The water is nasty out there compared to Jamaica. So that is my question. Like, how did it get its name?
Oh, I have the answer here for you. Prior to its development, Jamaica Beach was a burial ground for the Karankawa people. And then Johnny Goyan and Earl Galceran of the Jamaica Corporation developed Jamaica Beach as a 2,000 lot resort subdivision. And later on, it blew up to the Jamaica Beach we now know. So it was developed by the Jamaica Corporation. I don't know why they were called the Jamaica Corporation. It was probably to grab some of those tropical feelings, I guess, when you think of like Jamaica. Yeah, this is the Jamaica of the South right here. I don't know.
Oh Lord, it is not Jamaica.
It is. Yeah. I love that we just go along with it because, like, I'm Team Galveston here along with Raheel, so I love going to Galveston. And I would just be like, yeah, we're going to Jamaica Beach. Like, no questions asked. I don't know why it's called Jamaica. We're not in Jamaica, but I was just like, we're just going over there.
That is weird.
But there you go. That's why it's called Jamaica Beach. Okay, Brooke, how about you?
Okay, so I feel like my sports loving dad is going to roll his eyes at this question, but I've always wondered, why do we call Houston Clutch City? I never understood that.
Oh, your sports loving host is rolling his eyes at you, Brooke.
I'm with Brooke though. Why is it called Clutch City?
I know
you don't know either.
It's like,
oh my god!
I know that it's something Rockets related. I know it's like I know bits and pieces of the story, but I don't know the full timelines. I need it broken down for me.
Same.
So on the road to the first championship for the Houston Rockets, they were down to the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference semifinals. They blew 2 huge leads, and the Chronicle printed this huge front page blasting article about the Rockets and called them Choke City because they were supposed to win the championship. This was one of the best teams, and they just called them straight up Choke City. The Rockets come back and win that series. They get to the NBA Finals. They're trailing the New York Knicks 3-2. They come back home, win the NBA championship, and thus they became Clutch City. So they took it from Choke City to Clutch City, and that's how we got the name. And that team led by Hakeem Olajuwon, and then the following year, Clyde Drexler, they were just one of the more clutch teams out there. So that's why we're called Clutch City. And there's just this clutch thing about Hakeem and that group that we always love.
See, the rumor I heard was kind of like that. I just knew it was related to Hakeem because he was like so big in the community. So I was like, oh, okay, because he's a clutch dude. That's why. Didn't really.
Yeah, he is a clutch.
Yeah,
he was actually very clutch. He, in fact, in Game 6, blocked a game-winning 3-point attempt from John Starks, if I remember correctly, and that was a clutch defensive play. So it just started, like, everything became clutch, and now we hear that term clutch so much.
Okay, thanks for the history lesson, because I think I knew the whole Choke City thing because, Chronicle alumni over here. So I think I knew that, but I just never knew, how do we go from Choke City to Clutch City? And I will have to shout out Clutch the Bear, the mascot, because that is my favorite mascot of any Houston team. He's so adorable, and he's such a cutie. So I feel like Clutch, I'm sorry that I didn't know why your name was Clutch.
And inflatable Clutch is my favorite Clutch. This is one of the funniest things he does. Okay, we have some listener questions, and I don't know if these are stupid questions more than just good questions about the city of Houston. On Twitter, Amin Bundeli says, what is the best month of weather in Houston? Ooh, pick a month, ladies. What is the best month of weather we have here in the city of Houston? I will say it's April.
April. Yeah, I was going to go with
April
March
or
April.
March, like around there, because it's nice, it's cool. It is a little hot towards the end of April, but you still get that spring feeling. So I'm going to go April. How about you, Brooke?
Yeah, I think it's whenever the rodeo starts again. It's like right around that time of year because it's usually not too hot and it's sometimes a little cold, but there's no humidity for a few weeks and it just never lasts, but usually around that stretch.
Okay. Carly, how about you?
I would definitely say March because like it has that nice breeze outside. It's not too hot. Like weather's in about like the 70s, 80s. Definitely a good time to go outside.
Yeah.
You can wear a hoodie, feel good, and not sweat in it. I like that.
March all the way. I'm with you.
Okay. B. Hannon on Instagram asked us, when will Alameda Road ever be smooth?
Never.
Never.
That's
the charm of it.
That's asking like when will construction ever end in Houston? Never.
Right.
Never.
It's never going to end. Or like when will Richmond ever be smooth?
Or Kirkwood?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen.
It's like a roller coaster.
That was by far the stupidest question, right?
Yeah.
Like, when will X road ever be smooth? I'm just messing with you, Hannah. Okay. Before I get to some rapid fire questions, do y'all have any other questions that you want to ask about Houston, but you're like, I don't know, this might be too dumb or too stupid? This is a safe space, so ask away.
I have one more question.
Okay.
Are we the only state that has a state pledge? Because, they always tell us like, oh, yeah, Texas, y'all are full of yourselves and you love your state a little bit too much. Like, are we the only people that sit there and do these pledges to the flag every morning?
Ooh, that's a good one. I can't think of anybody else I've met that ever says a state pledge. Are there other state pledges, y'all?
So I thought the same thing, Carly, because I remember this in high school. And we're not alone. Apparently, there are other states out there who have pledges for their flags.
Okay, so it's not just because we're full of ourselves.
Okay. Who knows the Texas pledge without looking it up?
I know it.
Okay, Carly, go.
I know it too.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah, I think I know it.
Let's say 3, 2, 1. Let's do it together.
Let's do it.
In unison.
I pledge allegiance to the
Texas, like one state. I thought it was honor the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. No, you're right.
I pledge allegiance to the Texas flag. One state under God, one and indivisible.
Under God, one and indivisible.
Yeah.
Yep. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Yo, we fumbled that. It's been a while since I've had to say it.
This is giving me flashbacks because in our like morning announcements, did you guys have it where you could get picked to do the pledge like over the speaker?
Oh,
and it was such a big deal. Like I remember getting picked for that and I was like, oh my God, my voice is going to be over the whole thing and I get to say the Texas pledge.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Oh,
flashbacks are coming right now. Oh my God, that is crazy.
Oh my God, I'm horrified.
Here's one for our neighbors to the east, Louisiana. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the state of Louisiana and to the motto for which it stands, a state under God, united in purpose and ideals, confident that justice shall prevail for all of those abiding here.
Oh my God, that is a long
that is
a long one.
That is long.
That's interesting.
Here's Arkansas. This is the best one. I salute the Arkansas flag with its diamond and stars. We pledge our loyalty to thee. Quick, easy, done.
Yeah, that was
that's so intense. I pledge our loyalty to thee. Oh.
Okay, now I'm going to rapid fire some questions and get your thoughts on this, okay?
I'm ready.
Can you live in Houston without a car?
No.
No.
Impossible. Impossible. Did you grow up on a farm?
No.
This is one we've already discussed. Do you even have a winter?
No. Well, actually,
a couple
February
weeks.
2021. Remember, that was like the closest to the crazy level of winter we've experienced.
That is true.
Well, we do in general. We do have a winter. For everyone that says like, do you all you have one season here? No, we do get a winter from January to about end of February.
Yeah.
And honestly, our winter is kind of miserable though. Like, for instance, in like 2021, I think, I went to Colorado and I was colder in Texas than I was in Colorado because Texas has that wind with our like weather, so it's like it just makes a chill come down your body versus like in Colorado, it's kind of just dry, like there's snow on the ground, but it's not as bad.
Also, our freaking grid can't even handle it if we all have our heaters on apparently at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the hell is this?
I know, for our like 2 weeks of winter.
Yeah, exactly.
Our grid, to be fair, Dina, can't handle cold
Or hot,
yeah.
yes. Freaking Texas, man.
True.
So Carly, I've discussed that before with other people. Like when you go to a state where it's winter, you're like, okay, you know, it's cold over there, but it feels colder in Houston. I think it's because you mentally prep yourself and you're wearing thicker clothes in Denver. In Houston, we're not wearing thermals, right? Like we don't walk outside with thermals. So you're like, ooh, it's colder here. It's just because we're not prepped for it. We're just wearing a hoodie. Come on.
But we whip out our boots
So
and
true.
scarves the second it hits like 65.
Yeah, it's coming. I feel like that boot and scarf day is coming. Like maybe in a week or two. Like it just needs to be 65 or something.
Exactly.
Han Solo season. Everybody dresses like Han Solo.
Yeah, that's true. But see, the thing is, like, I was in Denver and, like, yes, I did bring more stuff to prepare for it. But when I realized it wasn't that cold, like, we saw, like, a lot of girls that were taking, like, pictures in their bathing suits in the snow. And so me and my friend wanted to do it. So we did. And it was not bad. Like, we were out there and it didn't bother us. Like, we had on our boots in a bathing suit. It was crazy. But yeah.
All right.
And to be fair, Carly, you were probably partaking in the local Denver fair. Okay, so
No, I wasn't.
all right, that's not.
Carly is like, this is 100% me. I don't know what y'all are talking about. This is a decision I would make.
Oh my God.
Okay, here's a good one. What are those weird rims on the cars everywhere? Are they talking about swangers and elbows?
I think
Come
so.
on.
Yes.
Just like get used to it. Just get used to it.
It's our car fashion.
Stylish.
When I was
car
little,
fashion.
though, those things kind of scared me because I'm like, I don't want to get too close. I'm going to get cut. Like, I don't want to be too close to these.
Do they mess up your car if you get too close, though? Like, I think that they actually do. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean they will hit your tire, but it'll probably hurt the actual like the rim
rim.
itself more.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt your car or
Mhm.
anything.
Mhm.
Their rim might get messed up because if you collide with a car going fast, the momentum's going to hit the thing that's sticking out.
Yeah.
So it might hurt the elbows more. But yeah, that's part of Houston slap culture. That's what it's about here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last one. And I think we've hinted on this throughout the entire conversation. Why are Texans so freaking obsessed with Texas?
Because it's a great place to live, I think. I mean, I think the people, the food, the culture here is really great. I mean, some of our laws are questionable, but besides that,
We're also chill. Yeah.
In spite of the flaws, we're still a good
Mhm.
state.
We're
Right, it
laid
seems
back.
like.
We're
Yeah.
chill. I don't know. Y'all, outside of Texas, I feel like people are really like uptight,
Mhm.
very cliquish, very in their own little zone. But in Texas, we're super chill and laid back. And I love that.
Mhm.
Yeah, everybody's really friendly. It's like, you know, you're always going to have a good restaurant to go to. The weather, even though it gets hot, there is like long stretches of time where you can just be outside and do fun things outside longer than other places. So it's just a great place to live.
Texas forever, Houston forever. I think that's a great way to end it. Ladies, thank you so much for sharing your stupid questions and all the listeners who shared theirs as well. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Thanks.
That was Raheel Ramzanali, Dina Kesbeh, Brooke Lewis, and me, Carlignon Jones. If you have a stupid question you'd like to share, send it to us via the info in our show notes. That'll do it for today. Thanks for listening, and I hope you learned something new. They
God.
scared me about my window at one point. I don't even know when it got hit. Honestly, y'all know I'm not a good driver, so I don't know what happened. But I just know there's like a crack like from one side of the car and to the other side. And they were like, yeah, you need to get that fixed because if you don't, it could just like fall in on you. I don't even know if I still got it fixed yet, honestly.
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
been years at this point, but we're just going to pray about it.
No, they're just trying to get you to fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're just trying to get that insurance claim on you. That's all it was.
Yes.